Hi, I'm Jerry Hintchel.
I'm Julie Hintchel.
We'd like to share our story with you.
It was about 18 years ago when our story began. We'd been married for about 15 years. Our oldest daughter was 13. She wanted to go to Falls Creek. I had a Baptist background, Jerry had a Lutheran background, and we decided we'd let her go. And she got saved that week. And when she came home, she was on fire and she wanted to get baptized, and we wouldn't let her because she had been baptized as a baby in the Lutheran church. We thought we were good people. We thought we were good parents, but in reality, we weren't. We drank, we partied, we smoked. We denied our children so much. And during the course of a year, from the time my daughter got saved, she went to church faithfully every time the doors were open. Rain, snow, she walked. A lot of times we were too drunk to take her. And about a year later, my middle daughter took some money out of Jerry's wallet, and he was drunk and he was mad. And it was all my fault because I didn't raise my kids right. And so he, out of spite, he said, "We're going to church tomorrow, and we're going to your church." We went to church that Sunday morning out of spite, mainly. And we sat in the farthest seat we could get. And the preacher came up on stage, Brother Scott Hamilton, and he said, "Guys, y'all got to pray for me." He was visibly shaken. He said, "I don't know what I'm doing today." He said, "I had a sermon, I had it planned. God gave me peace. I studied." He said, "But God got me up early this morning," and he says, "You can't use that. I can only use this one verse." It just kept coming to me, and I just kept saying, "God, what are you doing?" That verse happened to be one of the only verses Jerry knew.
A greater love had no man, that he laid down his own life for his friend.
His jaw drops, my jaw drops. We got home that night. It was just weird in the house. There was a weird vibe in the house. I went straight to our preacher's house. They lived 2 doors down. And our preacher, Brother Scott, happened to be there, which he normally wasn't, and his wife, Billy. And I said, "Guys, something's going on. I'm saved. I know I'm saved. I think I'm saved." I said, "But my husband isn't. And I want to pray. I think God's calling." And I prayed, "God, whatever it takes, move heaven and earth, whatever it takes, bring my husband to salvation." Later that night, my husband come home, and at the exact moment that I had prayed that prayer, his friend was telling him I was having an affair. On Wednesday, our faithful 13-year-old went to church. She was so mad at me. She went to church that Wednesday night, and the sermon happened to be over the adulterous woman and how God, or Jesus, had saved her and forgave her. So she come home and she hugged me and she told me she forgave me. The next day was Thursday, and Jerry was just outside just trying to breathe from the week, and he seen the preacher pull into his house. So he went over to talk to the preacher, and
Well, I didn't know really what to say. I didn't even know how I really got there. One minute I was in my yard, next minute I'm in front of him. And I told him, I said, I don't know what's going on. I said, my life's been turned upside down. I said, I found out my wife's had an affair. I said, I'm so mad. I said, I don't know who to turn to. And he said, you got to turn to God. He said, you think you got her. But he said, Satan's got you where he wants you. And he says, if you can get the man out of the house, he'll pick your kids off one at a time. And he says, you'll lose everything. finally at 5:30 in the morning, without sleep, and I've been crying all night and hurting, I looked up my ceiling. I had my feet up here on my table like I always did, and I said, "Dear Lord Jesus," I said, "I don't know why you even want me. But I said, I'm yours forever." I said, "I surrender."
At that point, I was mad. I was so angry, and I thought, now you get saved? And I sat down on the couch, and I just lost it. And I said, I don't know what to do. I'm losing my kids. I'm losing my life. And I said, I'm lost. And I heard God say, "Go." And I thought, where am I going to go? I have nowhere to go. And I ended up at the youth center of the Baptist church. And I got out, I walked straight to the door, and I thought, I can't do this. I can't do this. I am free of this man. I'm free of this marriage. And our preacher was on the other side of that door watching the whole time. And as I started to back up and walk away, he opened the door and he said, "You're not leaving." He said, "Come in." So I came in and he talked to me, and I knew I had not been saved. I knew I was a sinner. My shame and my guilt were so heavy. And I said, "God, I can't do it anymore. I give you my kids. I give you my marriage. I give you my life. No matter what you have in store for me, I trust you." Over the course of the next month, my other 2 children got saved, and we were baptized as a family.
Guys, I don't know where you might be. You're going to think it's humanly impossible to forgive and go on with your life, and you know what? You're correct. It's humanly impossible. If it hadn't been for Jesus Christ and me surrendering my life to Him, He held me through that week. And He's held me to this day. And He's holding me this week, 19 years, almost 19 years later. So I'm fixing to go in to have surgery next week for a brain tumor. So He's holding me again like He held me then. Trust in Him.